researchers over at Allen Institute for Artificial Intelligence have developed an AI program that can play both sides of Pictionary using a similar game called Iconary, where one player draws a picture to represent a word or phrase for the other player to guess. This is pretty interesting, given that most AI research being conducted right now seems to be geared toward competition, like playing against humans in chess or DOTA, as opposed to collaboration. Iconary is actually available to try online, and prompt the player with guessing what the I drew or vice versa. If the player chooses to draw, they are asked to doodle the action provided, and then select icons to represent their drawings, as explained by Kaveh Waddell over Axios. This is a key stepping stone to machine intelligence that matches or surpasses human capabilities. Despite the AI in Iconary being impressive, it has not mastered common sense yet, which is important to a game. The Allen researchers, I watched humans play 100,000 games, will also be taught to find words that have characteristics in common. Whenever the AI is taking a concept or idea that does not have a corresponding icon, it's forced to use its learned common sense knowledge to figure out how a combination of icons can be used to effectively communicate the concept to a person, explains Allen CEO Oren Etzioni. There are still some hitches, like the AI absorbing some human biases, but it's certainly an interesting step forward in machine learning. Robot Entertainment is all at once closing down its online games, Orcs, Must Die, Unchained Hero Academy, and Hero Academy 2, saying that it's no longer sustainable to continue to keep the games online and playable. Both the Hero Academy games released for Android, iOS, and PC, while Orcs Must Die, Unchained released for PC and PlayStation 4. Though unfortunate, it's not uncommon for developers to close down online servers or games once the cost of keeping them up and running starts to outweigh the money those games bring in. Robot Entertainment offers more details on the specifics of the closure in a post over on its blog, and notes that the 3 games have already been running at a financial loss for several months. In the case of the original Hero Academy, Apple's iOS updates are also partially to blame, though still playable to those that had previously downloaded it. Hero Academy was removed from the App Store in early 2018 following a series of OS updates from Apple that phased out DOTA and threatened iOS apps. That game, according to the developer, has been technically obsolete for a long time now. We could not maintain the pace of operating system updates from Apple. All 3 of the games will close down fully on April 8th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. At some point in the lead-up to that closure, Robot Entertainment will be removing the games from sale, and the ability to create new accounts for each, though a set end date for those features has not been set. The studio has been scaling down its development efforts for nearly a year now, as it looks to focus its efforts on the now two unannounced titles it has in development. In addition to these 3 server closures, Robot Entertainment laid off 30 team members early last year as part to what it called strategic shift to focus on its unreleased project. Netflix has confirmed rumors from earlier this week and officially announced that it is hiring Spencer Neumann as its new chief financial officer, just days after he was placed on leave pending firing from that same role at Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard announced in a securities filing this week that it was letting Neumann go for reasons unrelated to the company's financial reporting or disclosure controls and procedures, though the specific reasons for the firing were not detailed at the time. Since then, Activision Blizzard has said in a press release that Neumann was terminated for violating his legal obligations to the company, a violation that in all likelihood looks to be related to his quick jump over to Netflix. That same day, rumors circulated that Neumann was on track to be hired by Netflix as the company's key foe, and, according to MarketWatch, the company has since confirmed those early whispers. Neumann joined up with Activision Blizzard in May 2017, after leaving his position at the Walt Disney Company, and is now set to start as Netflix's financial chief early on this year, replacing David Wells, Netflix's key foe since 2010. Following Neumann's departure from Activision Blizzard, CEO Dennis Durkin temporarily assumed the responsibilities of key foe, though Activision Blizzard now says that Durkin will once again become the company's key foe, now that it's evident that Neumann has left the position for good. VR ownership for Steam users nearly doubled in 2018, at least according to a collection of the monthly Steam hardware and software reports released by Valve at the end of each month. Typically, those roundups offer curious size of Lancet month to math trends in us, VR, and PC component usage, but only data from the most recent month is publicly displayed. UploadVR, however, kept track of the monthly results for virtual reality headsets, and crunched the numbers to find that, across all VR brands, the percent of Steam users that used a VR headset nearly doubled in 2018. According to that data, just over 5% of Steam users had a VR headset in January compared to 8 in December. On a per-headset basis, UploadVR's data shows an 85% rise in Oculus Rift users on Steam in 2018 alongside a 65% rise in HTC Vive ownership. Windows mixed reality headsets saw a boost as well. At the beginning of the year, the platform did not have enough users to register on the monthly survey. At the close of 2018, 0.7% of Steam users had picked up the Windows mixed reality headset. However, it is worth noting that this data comes with a few caveats. The hardware survey, of course, only offers percentages, so it's difficult to put actual numbers to that growth. But for comparison's sake, Steam now has as many VR users as it does people running Orcs as their operating system. Additionally, participation in the survey requires Steam users to opt in, meaning that the sample size here does not include every single user on Steam. But even taken with a grain of salt, the collective maths of data offer an interesting look at how VR fared during last year. We sometimes have clients come to us who have been running their own marketing for a while, but have hit a brick wall. They simply cannot get more than a handful of people interested in their game. Often, these clients are stumped and at their wits, and they have tried everything, but nothing seems to work. When you work on enough marketing projects, and I do estimate I have published upwards of 200 games in some capacity over the years, you start to spot trends that make these issues a lot easier to diagnose and treat. Here are the top 5 reasons we find indies are not getting the attention their developers were hoping for and how to steer things back on track for your game. With 600 annual releases on Steam every single month, there's going to be no shortage of indie games in 2019. A lot of them will be good, enjoyable experiences, with solid and polished mechanics, that get all but completely ignored. Why? Because the success of even a high-quality product in a competitive market is hampered by a lack of originality, with so many games to choose from. Another addition to the already oversaturated mix is always going to struggle to cut through the noise. No gamer in 2019 is thinking, I wish there were more indie platformers to buy.